Where do you want to advance? Do you want to advance to shipment processing?
Yes, let's go to
Yeah,
shipment
they were
processing.
coming from shipment processing, so that's good. Good there.
Wait, I think I saw something in the vents. There's one in the vents! Up here, up here, up here! Whoa!
Oh! 2 coming! 3 coming! Ouch!
Oh, it's a big boy.
Take them out. Take them out.
You guys need health?
I think we're all dead.
Let us talk about Natural Selection, a little franchise that, like so many others, started as a Half-Life mod and is kind of the Half-Life mod that did what Valve could not manage to do. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll tell you in a bit. Little hint, if you're a real Team Fortress 2 expert, you may be able to guess it before I spell it out. I'm curious to see if you got it or not, so comment section into the hint. With that little scene in the beginning of the video, you may got a little spoiler what Natural Selection is all about. Natural Selection is a total conversion mod for Half-Life that turns Valve's old FPS hit into a first-person shooter real-time strategy crossover, something that was a real novel idea upon Natural Selection's 1.0 release back in 2002. And it's still something that isn't all too common nowadays. But games that are a bit more unusual are kind of like these guys' home turf. After the Natural Selection mod and its standalone sequel, Unknown Worlds Entertainment were working on Subnautica, and that's also a bit of a more unusual game. In Unknown Worlds Half-Life mod Natural Selection, human marines known as the Frontiersmen fight against the alien infestation known as the Kara, and I'm not certain if I got that pronunciation right, so I'll just be calling them aliens from now on. The two factions hash it out aboard space stations, ships and foreign planets, fighting for resources and area control by occupying territory. Both teams possess widely different abilities and features. Whereas the Marines are fairly straightforward to understand for any first-person shooter veteran with their assault rifles, shotguns and hand grenades, the aliens are a bit more of a novelty. Not only do they spit acid, bite your legs and cut you up with sharp claws, they also move about the various environments on more dimensions than a regular human. Marines are well advised to operate in groups and keep their heads on a swivel, as aliens practically strike from the skies. These smaller and more nimble aliens possess the capability to scale walls and ceilings with ease, giving the player near absolute mobility short of just no clipping around. Not only can alien players dodge incoming fire in various directions, they can also set up ambushes from angles that you wouldn't normally expect. Any comparison drawn to the Alien franchise at this point is right on the money. But these small aliens, capable of navigating walls and ceilings, are no match for well-equipped humans in a head-to-head engagement. On a level ground, the human is always superior, even if the alien player enhanced themselves with the evolution system, essentially the alien's upgrade system, allowing them to, for example, heal themselves or increase damage output. From this evolution menu, you can choose to mutate into vastly different beings, from more sturdy ranged fighters to fast-bladed creatures that cut the opponents down faster than he can react. Seriously, skilled players go crazy with this alien, and look at that, we didn't stand a chance against this sweat lord.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Don't you dare complain about that. This meme was almost as old as the game. But back to your selection of aliens. The most furious opponent one can mutate into is the Onos. This almost rhino-like alien, a veritable tank, is capable of crushing all opposition if they are unprepared. Just look at this recording of one of my friends crushing us with the Onos alien in just a few seconds, and we were completely caught off guard here.
These were some...
I mean, the left
I pretty much murdered all of them.
It would be unbeatable if not for the humans' late-game equipment, grenade launchers and heavy combat suits. A regular round begins in a lobby area where all players meet and choose teams by walking into their preferred team's gate and from there on being dropped into the main map. The alien players spawn in their hive area, of which they can have up to 3. These can be reinforced and connected, allowing for fast travel. As you may know, humans do not spawn in hive nests. In natural selection, they are brought in via the infantry portals, the human's spawn point. Humans also do not evolve over the course of the game, they have to buy their new equipment. Indeed, natural selection matches can take a long time, feeling like it would be long enough for a human to evolve into a being with an extra set of arms to crack open a can of Monster Energy while you stand there setting up a resource extractor. No. It's actually not that easy with one hand when you have to keep E pressed. But it works. Actual human evolution does take longer than a 1-hour match of natural selection or someone snapping a finger, despite what some people with long beards or funny hats may say about that topic. Unlocking new equipment or mutations for the aliens is tied to the team's performance and or construction of dedicated buildings. So taking out the enemy's defensive structures, resource extractors, turret factories, or even an entire hive is the way to victory. Before you can launch a final assault, the enemy needs to be weakened. Let's see what we have established. Natural Selection is a game with 2 teams that are asymmetrical, with a big CQB element, especially for the alien side. The humans do wield a knife, but still, a shotgun is more effective. All this is still on the first-person shooter side, with the bit unusual element of setting up buildings. That's not in every first-person shooter. But Natural Selection has a point where it really stands out even further, and that is the RTS element. The humans have a special class, the Commander, who is almost completely removed from the basic gameplay. Whichever player enters this device, the command station, changes perspective and becomes the Commander. From now on, seeing the battlefield from above, just like in a real-time strategy game, or RTS for short. The Commander can set up buildings, drop supplies, and issue orders to the troops, meaning the other players on the ground. Unlike any other regular RTS game, the Commander is reliant on his troops' goodwill, motivation and cooperation. The aliens have a builder class who can build on its own accord, but human buildings need to be placed down by the Commander, like the aforementioned infantry portal. But even though the Commander places them down, buildings and other smaller things like sentry guns must be constructed by a regular player on the ground. These placed buildings can be abandoned, orders given can be just ignored. Cooperation is key here, making this game hard to play with people unwilling to talk. I mean, humans can win without a commander, it just makes it a lot harder. I know it can be overwhelming at first, but usually when you listen to what the people on the ground say and just fulfill their wishes as long as the resources permit it, then you'll be a good commander. So there's no need to shy away from it. But if you've got a veteran player on the server who is just the top commander, maybe do step aside.
Yeah, joining.
Down there!
At 9 o'clock.
But for people who really can't be bothered with the RTS element, there's a game mode without the overarching narrative of command and control. A skirmish mode that just pits regular ground forces against one another. Also a very fun mode to play. It is not as involved as a regular match of Natural Selection, but I suppose it's a great way of learning the game and also good to play when you don't have an hour or more to play a big round of Natural Selection. And talking of learning the game and also filling up ranks, there are bots for the game, so you can theoretically play it on your own. Or if you don't have enough people to fill all the slots on the server, you can fill your ranks with bots. These bots are usually competent enough, but ladders are sometimes too much. In such cases, it's really great when you're an alien and can just run up the walls. Now we know how Natural Selection works, but how do you win? Well, considering the scenario, a gigantic alien hive mind against humanity, a peaceful outcome isn't really likely, isn't it? So in both scenarios, classic match and skirmish, total annihilation is the key to victory. The humans have to destroy all alien hive structures, and the aliens have to take out the human base. And when their infantry portal is gone, no reinforcements can be brought in. Usually that's when the game ends really fast for the human side. As for the TF2 reference from the beginning of the video, it's about the commander, who can construct machine guns, drop supplies, and place down other structures. Valve experimented with this idea for a long time but could never figure out how to implement it properly into the overall gameplay. But in Natural Selection, you can get a feeling of how it might have worked back when Team Fortress 2 was supposed to have a commander. If you want to learn more about that, check the link in the upper right corner. Natural Selection made the commander work so well that in the sequel, Natural Selection 2, both sides now have a commander. But that's to explore in a future video when we actually talk about Natural Selection 2. So stay tuned for whenever we get around to covering that. It's interesting because that takes the lessons learned from the mod and expands on it. Interesting enough, both installments, mod and standalone sequel, both have an active community. And if you want to play the mod, then visit the links in the video description down below. The mod is available to download for free on ModDB or the mod website. It can be installed very easily by just dropping it into the Steam folder of Half-Life. And yes, you do require Half-Life 1 to play this. No, not Half-Life Source, the actual Half-Life 1. In summary, I must say, Valve really let a good opportunity go. They used to hire developers with good ideas, and I think Natural Selection would have been a good entry into Valve's portfolio. Yes, Natural Selection isn't as straightforward as many other games, but that makes for some really interesting gameplay, especially with the right kind of people. And this kind of game actually lends itself to competitive play. Would be interesting to see this in the ESL. So from our side here, it's a definite recommendation. Go try it out. I mean, it's a mod. It's free. I hope you enjoyed our look at the frankly amazing Half-Life mod Natural Selection. If you did, you know what I would like you to do. Give the video a like, share your thoughts in the comment section down below, subscribe for future content, and if you really love what we do, why not join the ranks of our amazing supporters on Patreon, who got to see this video well in advance and also took part in the recording of the footage for this video. So yeah, I got shot by our Patreons. And the people with that deadly aim are Lone Wolf, Zat Gladys, Wrapped in Glass, Cookie, AX98, Theto, Revolve556, Plasma, Tome, Rainbow Flash, Grizzlivia, Strange Module, Cop Fighter, Inter, Charles Surd, Sir K, Ram Gilama, Zane, Whiskey, Christoph, MTD, Leggy Boy, Daniel, Freylem, Crony XS, and welcoming for the first time, Grayling 2. A big thank you for your support. To them and everyone else, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Until then, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.